Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the AMX 13F3AM. It's the Tier 6 French SPG. This one's located on the north spawn of Prokhorovka and it's under the command of ProvoBob. Okay, game started. Now this Arty comes with two guns, both 155mm. But one of the howitzers is capable of doing 630 alpha and the other one isn't. It's got a much smaller gun. It's actually capable of doing 500 alpha, but it's also got a better fire rate, and of course it's lighter, which means that this vehicle can move a lot faster with the lighter gun, but it has less accuracy. Okay, well, ProvoBob's trying to find his position. I think he's ready to go. He's just not aiming at the enemy yet because nobody's been spotted. Okay, well, we've got an enemy tank. It's a Cromwell B and he's dialing in on target, trying to line him up for a lead shot. Well, that one went long, much longer than he expected, but the Cromwell B did turn away before he could be hit. Now, the French built 621 of this Arty, and it is in service with a number of countries around the world, including Argentina, Cyprus, Ecuador, Kuwait, Morocco, Qatar, UAE, Sudan, Chile, Peru and Venezuela. The only ones who really don't have it in use are the French. But the fact is that they do have a number of them in reserve, and some of them are as monuments. I think we just noticed where one of the enemy Arty is. He's down amongst that tree line. There is only one enemy Arty. It's an FV304, which means he has to get close to the enemy if he wants to shoot. So he's actually beyond the crossing point. You can see there he's firing his 4.5-inch howitzer. Rounds out in the VK. Direct hit. 188 hit points. That gets him off the... or he's on the board now. It's got some damage. Now the standard reload for this Arty is 30.58 seconds, but ProvoBob's managed to get it down to 25.89. And oh yes, we just located where he is. He's actually behind that bush. And he's firing. Rounds out. He's about to get a nasty surprise. Oh, the shell went long. Oh my god, that might have warned the FV304 that we're targeting him. And it's probably splashed him. So he might relocate after that shot. So we'll just have to wait a little while and see if there's any more traces from that bush. But if there isn't, then unfortunately that shot warned him that we were looking at him. And he may move. Rounds out again. Well, that landed next to the bush, not on it. But I have the feeling that the FV3... Oh, he didn't move. He's still there. We just saw the tracer appear. And it's from the same spot, so he looks like he's still there, but ProvoBob was intending to go after that VK and finish him off, but I think he'll finish off the Arty now. That bird is about to get hit, but he just can't see where he is just yet. Needs the tracer to show him. Oh! What's he doing now? He's actually going up on top of the hill because there's a large number of enemy tanks up there, but he could have finished off that FV304. The enemy lost their VK-3601H, he warns low on hit points. And now we've lost sight of the only tank we had up here. Oh, well, maybe the T-29 a little further back. Oh, he's got the T-150 back again. Okay, lines up the shot, rounds out, and he moves forward. Yes, that didn't work out so well. Yeah, that's not good choices. Normally an Arty player, what you should be doing is you should be maximising your fire rate by firing the moment you're ready and to hit as many enemy tanks as you can. The teammates are asking for shots on that Tiger. Rounds out. That took him out of the game. 201. That's much better. Okay, so he's got that kill, but now he needs to find another one. Now, is he going? He's going back up to the hill because this time the T-150, he knows that guy's rocking backwards and forwards in a very predictable manner on that spot there. So if he puts a shell down, he should be able to hit him. Oh, what happened there? He got a bit of rescue bloom as he moved the vehicle. And so he's having to dial in all over again. Rounds out. This should hit. It lands short. So all he gets is stun. And it looks like the FB304 is firing up on the hill now. Okay, well the KV-85 has been marked for attack, but instead he's going to go for the Jackson because he can fully dial in on that guy, and he's got very thin armor. Rounds out. A nice hit for 288. Didn't get a penetrating shot, which is surprising because the armor on the Jackson's only 12.75 millimeters all round. So it's just very unlucky on that one, I guess. This SU-152 is pushing. He's coming forward and he stopped to take a shot. Could kill him. Go for it, Bob. Rounds out. Well, it was a big hit and he died immediately afterwards. So ProvoBob picked up the stun assist. The team's doing well so far. They're 4 up on the enemy. They still haven't captured the hill, but they've pushed the enemy back, and the enemy did lose that T150. Okay, so we know that there's the T29 on that side of the hill. He's dialing in, but he's going to have to wait until his teammates spot that T29 to take action. And there he is. He's actually moved. No, now we found the Cromwell B. Rounds out. This could work. Well, it landed next to the Cromwell, but it didn't do any damage because he was already dead. And now we've got the T29 to deal with. But he looks like the T150. He's moving backwards and forwards on the same spot. And Bob's marked him to let our teammates know that's what he's aiming at next. If they know which tank you're going to hit, then obviously they'll be aware the moment they get stunned that they can move and do something. He fires the round in behind, hoping the T29 moved back, and he didn't. He moved forward instead. So he's caught Bob out with that shot. I think that's the spot that he's moving backwards and forwards to because he's using his gun depression. So I'd aim just ahead of him because I think he's holding his position to use the gun depression. Well, he's low on hit points now, so you should get a kill if you can hit him. Only 7 hit points, but he did stun him, so he gets the stun assist. Okay, then now 5 tanks up on the enemy. A VK3002D's been spotted. He's got fairly thin armor as well. So any round that touches him is bound to do a fair bit of damage. And he's almost loaded. He's dialed in. Rounds out straight away. It lands in front of the VK, but it's bound to have damaged him badly. And oh, look at that. KV-85 on very low hit points. Our Porlac tanks decided to go in and take him out, and he's got him. We've got a VK, an SU-122-44 down there, and the Bert's just been spotted. And yes, he was in the same position, but he actually pulled back after the hits. And that wasn't fully dialed in, and the shell fell short, so he didn't get that hit. There's only 2 enemies left now. This VK, and the other one's a Jackson. It's the same Jackson he hit before. That guy's got 2 kills now. This VK's got 1 kill, but he is playing difficult to hit. Rounds out. That's better. 270. That's a good hit. And he's getting some stun assist. And the team just took out the Jackson, so this means the VK3002D is the last enemy tank. That's the Daimler version with the 88mm gun. And he just killed our VK3601H, so will Bob do the honours? Well, he didn't get the kill, but he got another 233 hit points, and here comes the MT to try and get the game. Yes, he got it, and that's the end of the game. It was a reduced numbers game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the first ace tanker game for ProvoBob in the AMX 13F3AM. You can tell it's the first ace tanker he's had because he's got the scrolls underneath, and you only get that the first time. He's also got a mark of excellence from that game as well for being consistent and getting at least 65% of the damage that others are getting. And on top of that, he gets a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 5 exactly. And a Confederate because he hit more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by other teammates. His win rate from that one was 2,819, which is Unicum standard. And I think we can do a quick look to see, did he hit others? Yes, he did splash the FB304 with a couple of those, or one of those shots. 178 hit points he took off him, but he didn't kill him. He was still alive and he pulled back just out of range of the shots. He did take a few other shots, you can see them there, but I think we actually saw those ones go home. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. Unfortunately, that went to the IS-2 on his team. Got 2,308 hit points, but I'm afraid he didn't get a high caliber because it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool. The second highest scorer was the Leo with 2,307. And the third highest damage was the VK3002D that was right at the end of the game. He got 2,168. ProvoBob got 1,761 out of that game, and of course he got the Confederate, the only medal winner in the entire game. When it came to kills, it was won by the T29 with 3 kills, and the T150 on his team also had 3. 2 kills went to the IS-2, the box tank, the VK3002D on the enemy team, their Jackson and their SU-12244, and ProvoBob only got the 1 kill out of that game. And when it came to base XP, he's actually in second place. The Leo got 1,047, ProvoBob got 992, and the IS-2 got 838. He fired 17 rounds in that game, got 6 direct hits on the enemy, but no penetrations. The penetration of this 155mm is only 39mm, so chances of you getting a penetration aren't that good, I'm afraid. So it is tier 6, and it does see tier 5 games as top tier, or you can be in tier 8 games, for that matter, attacking enemy tier 8s, but you can still get penetrations, just need to pick the right targets, targets that don't have a lot of armor to start with, and that FB304 did have very little armor. He also got 10 splash on the enemy as well, 1,761 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 1, that's why he got the Confederate. He did hit a lot of enemy tanks. 845 hit points of stun assist off 9 stuns, and that helped towards the ace tanker. He earned 46,139 credits from the game, and after resupply of ammunition and consumables, took away 9,139 credits, 1,488 XP, and no multipliers. That's all the experience points he took away, but he is getting very consistent, and it won't be long before he's getting ace tankers all the time. That's the first one, but I expect more. It is an enjoyable Arty to play. It's fairly fast, actually. I didn't mention that during the battle, but it's 60 kilometers an hour. And you can actually, with the stock gun, I believe you do actually have 6 degrees of gun depression. Yeah, as mad as it might mean that an Arty has gun depression, but there are a few Artys that do have gun depression, and that's the M53, M55 is one of those as well. But yes, you can actually shoot at enemy tanks using the gun depression. If they come over a rise, they get more than they expected. Anyway, I've seen this one. There's a rather good AMX 13 F3AM game on our channel, so do have a look at that one. It was played on Wide Park, and it was played mostly shotgun. And it's very amusing seeing the enemy tanks come over the hill, over the railway line, thinking they've got an easy kill on the other side, and unfortunately they then get fried by a 155mm in the face. Anyway, let's have a look at the armor. Well, as you can guess, it's AMX 13-ton tanks, so it's very, very light on armour. At the front, it's normally 40mm, and I think you can see that there. Basically 45 because it's slightly rounded. The lower plate is 20mm, but with the angling, it's actually 40.9, so 41. And the upper plate is 15mm, but angling actually puts it to 35. The sides of the vehicle, 20mm, that's all you're going to get because it's flat-sided. And as you can see, the engine's up front with the driver, and the commander sits directly behind him. And at the back, well, it's very thin, it's very exposed, and it's very open. So any shell on the back is going to do a lot of damage, and armor is not really going to help you unless somebody shoots into the tracks. That might help. Let's have a look at the modules. Well, I did mention that the commander and the driver are sitting inside the vehicle. If we look at this, we can see the transmission's right up front, right in front of the driver, and to the left of him, or to the left as we're looking at it, is the engine. The fuel is directly behind the engine, so the driver's right at the front, and you can see here the commander of the vehicle, the tank commander, is actually sitting directly behind him. He is actually in the vehicle, and there's the radio set as well. At the back, we've got the gunner. He's exposed and controlling the elevation of the gun. The ammunition is actually inside the vehicle, but in actual fact, this vehicle normally had a support vehicle which would actually carry the crew and also all the ammunition. It's two-part ammunition. It's a separate shell from the actual explosive charge, which is in a bag, and they have to load them using a special system to do it, to get the shells in, because it's fairly heavy. You've got two loaders showing on the back here, but of course they don't show on the vehicle, but that's where they are basically in the hitbox. And if you fire at this vehicle with HE, you are going to get the crew because they're exposed and nothing's going to stop the shell going in. So there you are. That's the AMX 13 F3AM module placement. I hope you enjoyed that replay. I thought it was a bit slow to start with, but he picked up later on during the game and got some more damage, and it really did help. If you did enjoy this replay, please give it a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And of course, please do remember that we're giving all the proceeds from our channel to the Red Cross Ukraine appeal to help the refugees coming out of Ukraine. And so every video you watch until the war is over is helping those people, because and there will be proof that all the money is sent to the Red Cross on our Facebook page, and of course we will put it on other Facebook pages as well so people can see that that's what we're doing. But please do watch as many videos as you can on our channel, because all of it helps to send the money to the refugees. Thanks for watching.